10, 20. Hello everyone. We have to wait for some time. So I'm going to post the recording because it's not yet 9:30. So just wait till then. So welcome Dr. Sarvanan and Dr. Gauri to be here today. You all can hear me and see me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please. We can't hear you, Gauri. Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. And Dr. Sarvanan, we can hear you as well. Yeah. So, and welcome all the participants who are here. There's Asha Ram, there is Jay Satwani, Neerav Parikh, Rajesh Shah, Shweta, and of course, Vatsal. So, thank you very much for coming for this live session. We are going to answer some of your questions. Some questions will be kept specifically for those who are expert, but obviously, whatever we can share, we will share it today. Did you attend all the talks, all those who are here? Right in the question and answer session, there's a section here. You can see on the top. You can write over there, or also you can also take a poll that we have just created. And okay, welcome Arun Kumar also, and Nilesh Zalavadia, Kushi Goyal. Okay, more are joining in. So we are right here for next 45 minutes to maybe a little longer if required. And if you can write your questions, it will be easier for us. Because if everybody is allowed to talk, it might be a chaos. So we'll try and do that. So the first question that comes is, can hypothyroid be cured using plant-based diet? This is the question from Divya. So who wants to take first? Dr. Sarvanan, you want to share your experiences of treating hypothyroidism?
Of course. Yes, Dr. Rupasha. So thank you very much
Can
for
you make
inviting me.
louder, or is it me who's not hearing? Nana, you're fine. You're fine. Just go ahead.
All right. So welcome everyone. I'm happy to see all of you here again. I hope you all enjoyed the previous sessions, and now we are in the question and answer session. So this question about hypothyroidism and its management with plant-based diet. So I would like to share some of my experiences. And I realized that a plant-based diet can be very helpful for reversing hypothyroidism after practicing this for a few years. Initially, I was focusing more on diabetes and other lifestyle diseases. I was of the opinion that it wouldn't be that much helpful for the reversal of hypothyroidism, but I realized that many people started reversing hypothyroidism when they started doing it to reverse their diabetes or other health problems. And in fact, I have also seen reversals of autoimmune thyroid conditions. So it is really helpful. The diet has to be organic, wholesome, and plant-based. When it is combined with other things, lifestyle changes, positive lifestyle changes, stress management, and all those things, then the possibilities of healing the thyroid is more. So this is from my experience. I would like to hear from both of you doctors.
Yeah, Dr. Gauri.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rupa, for inviting me over here. And thank you, Dr. Sarvanan, also. Well, as he rightly said, it is possible to reverse not just one particular disease. Anything from cold to cancer can be reversed with whole plant-based diet. And that is the magic of whole plant-based diet. Because the minute we say wholesome, as close as possible to the plant, the way the plant gave us, it has all the micronutrients, it has all the antioxidants, it has all the phytochemicals which are necessary to heal and repair inside the body. And as he rightly said, it combines, it's just not about food, it's the lifestyle, it is what happens in the mind, that is the stress levels. If we can take care of all the three aspects, any disease can be reversed. And as yes, I have seen many people who have reversed their hypothyroidism with following these principles.
Wonderful. So I also have a similar experience. Basically, a disease does not happen just like that. We must have made some mistakes. It has to have a cause, it has to have a story, or I always say that it was in the development. But because our inner doctor was always alert, looking after, maintaining, we were disease free. But the day, it just inner doctor also gets tired and says, gives up, I can't do it anymore. You are just, abusing me far too much. Why don't you learn? Okay, here are the symptoms. You got the disease. Its body's cry and shouting for help. And we should listen to our body, not suppress the symptoms. Pay attention. I always take every opportunity, every pain in my body, every discomfort or any disease condition, if I may have even for a day or two, I take it as an opportunity to learn, listen, where have I gone wrong? Because body is a very transparent machine. It does not lie. It tells the truth. And so first is to honor what has come. Disease comes here in the form of a friend to teach us something. And I ask that question, what am I making? Where am I making mistakes? What am I doing? And there is also this inner doctor, intuitive guidance. Somewhere something tells you ate something wrong, or you didn't sleep, or you were stressed out, or your thinking was not right. So those guidance, help. We believe in holistic approach. There is a someone I know, he's heavy into dairy products and is very against what I'm doing and would not listen. I kept thinking in my mind, how long can this go on? Something should happen, something may come. And sure, the first one that came, hypothyroid. Then thyroid medication started. Then after couple of years, hypertension. Now blood pressure medicine started. So I was not wrong. If you eat wrong and you think nothing is going to happen to me and you live, then that's not the way. More and more medications will get added, and medications gives us the idea that I'm well, or I'm under control, or everything is fine, and then you continue doing the same mistakes again and again. So I lay a lot of emphasis on learning and participating in the process of healing. It's in partnership. Here we go to a doctor and say, doctor, you prescribe. Doctor is empowered, doctor will prescribe, send you home. But when you sit together with your doctor and ask, where can I change my life so that these things never come again? That's in partnership, and you empower your patient with knowledge for life. So I tell my patients, first phase is of reversal. Listen to your body. Let's change the lifestyle that has caused this in the first place. And once you've reversed, the second would be prevention. Never get it again. The reversal stage is definitely hard one. We have to change everything that we have done wrong, one step at a time. But hypothyroid comes in the same category. I also see hyperthyroid patients as well. So it's part of the metabolic syndrome X. There's one diet for the whole metabolic syndrome. That's type 2 diabetes, obesity, bad lipid profile, heart disease, hypertension, PCOS, and thyroid issues. All of them are helped with the whole food plant-based diet and lifestyle. Now more and more evidence is available. Of course, through the 9 days, everyone will learn a lot more about it. However, we come from mainstream. I'm also an allopathic doctor. I understand from where your concept comes that thyroid medicine should be taken for life, and the dose also sometimes increases as the time goes. So friends, keep your mind open. Hypothyroid can be reversed. You just need perfect guidance. As Dr. Gauri said, Dr. Sarvanan said, it's a holistic approach, mind, emotions, body. It's a total approach. And then you see the disease is not only reversed, but it is also prevented in future. So this is my answer. I hope that helps. It was a little longer answer, but I just wanted to build up a foundation so that on this very foundation, more diseases can be discussed. We don't treat disease, right, Dr. Gauri? We treat a human being. We don't treat A disease or B disease or A medication. We just treat the person as a whole with all their symptoms and everything about them. So, right, wonderful. I hope that answers your question. Let's get more questions now. So, that was from Divya. How can a plant based diet promote hair growth? Who wants to go first for hair growth?
Take it.
Yes.
Okay, when people come to whole plant-based diet, what I have seen with my patients and my own self experience is, first you lose hair. This is the biggest scare people have, and they get scared the minute I'm eating right, I'm living right. What's happening? Why is the hair fall increasing? And what I have seen is, yes, it starts increasing because the loose ones, the unhealthy ones, the weaker ones fall off. When they fall off in huge numbers, we get scared because we see them falling off. But the ones which are growing, which are stronger, which are healthier, need some time for them to grow and add up to this length so that I know what was earlier and what is happening now. Sometimes I have seen 6 months, 8 months, and I personally took 1.5 years for some amount of good hair growth to be seen. So you will see immediately for a hair loss, but in a long run you will see healthier, longer and stronger hair. So I would always say, be patient and keep doing the good work. Eat right and live right, and keep your scalp clean, and give a good massage, good apply good quality oil, and keep going. And I'm sure in another few months you will see very good hair growth, and you'll be happy about it.
Thank you. Dr. Saravanan?
Yeah, this is something which is very important for many because it's an aesthetic issue. So, but hair fall can also be because of some underlying medical conditions like hypothyroidism, hormonal imbalance, nutritional deficiencies can all cause hair fall. Of course, stress is another contributing factor. So we have to find out what exactly is causing that and then address it accordingly. And definitely a whole food plant-based diet can be helpful because it has all the nutrients necessary for growing hair, like folate and B vitamins, iron, and all the minerals needed for hair growth. We can easily get on a plant-based diet. One more thing I would recommend is to check the vitamin B12 level. If it is on the lower side, that can also lead to hair fall. So that also has to be addressed when trying a whole food plant-based diet for improving hair growth. As Dr. Gauri said, it's true that when we start a plant-based diet, when the body is in the cleansing phase, there could be this shedding of hair, there could be some skin eruptions coming out. All those are just signs of healing. So we just need to be a little bit patient and just do what we have to do. And the body will start regenerating itself. New cells will start to grow, and we'll see new hair follicles will grow, and it will be stronger, and we can see the shine. And I have also heard people who have even reversed alopecia, and this happened when they tried plant-based diet for some other health problems. It was a positive side effect. So give it a try and then see it for yourself how it helps.
Wonderful. I have also seen nowadays even younger generation, start having hair fall very early in life. And even by the time they are 25 or 30, they have lost all the hair here. And because of stress, tension, junk food, poor nutrition, chemical overload, we see lot of the way people take cancer patients take chemotherapy, and overnight they lose hair because they are so toxic, the chemicals. They go and attack the roots, and overnight, you just within a week everything is gone. So this is also a mild form of chemical overtoxicity. But when we go on a plant-based diet, agree, initially there can be hair fall for short time, but after a point the hair fall stops, your body readjusts, starts nurturing, and the quality of that hair now you get is far, far better. And then you can, after that, the most probably there is no such episode later in life. I think one of the most important thing going on a plant-based diet is of course not about treating a part of the body. It's holistic approach, but uh, a protection or higher immunity comes. So if you were prone to certain problems before, there's a good possibility that those problems vanish or they become very mild, and you can be at a much better level in life. So if you had a lot of hair fall stops. You also start regenerating some of the recent loss. I always say people that not everything is gone. Sometimes even I have seen black hair coming in some patients. Yeah, if they go on a very nice raw food diet or detox and wait for some time, then they'll start showing some of the black color growth coming. So yes, plant-based diet, definitely all the way go if you want to have wonderful hair growth. Get the mind. Hair growth is really, really good. In the COVID time, I didn't cut and I kept growing. And it's really something I had in school days, my such long hair. And now I really enjoy because I don't want to cut them anymore. I really like it. They're just so long and I just have a nice long plait I can show. So yes, we enjoy our health in every aspects of life, not just weight loss or not just diabetes or big diseases, also the hair. All right, should I go on to the next question? Many people give the excuse Ayurveda recommends ghee and curd for good health. When I talk to them about veganism, how can I respond to them? So, who wants to answer first? This is the question that I probably have answered so many times. We are a country of Ayurveda, Ayurvedic medicine, and there are various branches or various origins of it. Original is Siddha system, then Ayurveda, then the way Ayurveda is practiced in the north and the south is somewhat different. But all of them have one thing very common is the ghee, and from the Deshi cow. And so Ayurveda does not look into the ethical aspects of it, obviously. They are more into the guna. What is the guna? Everything has some effect on it. So they will take anything. If they find that cow's ghee is having some health benefits, then they will take it as a medicine. So they are more into food as medicine. So in that case, they are not necessarily ethical, but they have explored a lot of animal products as medicine, not really primarily as food. But so from that culture and our close proximity to cattle for agriculture, we have landed up, drinking their milk and having ghee. Now, and curd, of course, there are three things. It's not just the curd, it's just ghee. There's also one more thing, paneer, they ask. Also, they ask, cow milk must be very good for children. All these questions come. Curd has probiotic. So, ghee is nothing but a highly processed food. Yeah, you agree with me? Ghee just doesn't, we don't get ghee just like that in nature. The milk undergoes a lot of processing and finally we get ghee. It's highly processed, it's full of saturated fat. Because we've been taking it for generations, we think we know how to digest it, but the lifestyle has changed completely. We are not into any such lifestyle that probably our ancestors had. Can we digest ghee? Can we digest the saturated fat? Is it linked with cholesterol? And also whether our weather allows us to use it or not. Earlier, it used to be look at the country, this place, the weather, your own constitution, and then you decide what diet should be taken. But right now, the phase that we are in, ghee and curd are no more health food. It's no more sattvic. Also, look at the origin from where it comes from. It's no more required for our body. Uh, There is a video by Dr. Pawan Vatwan where he has discussed about A1 and A2 cow. He said the place where he stays, there are all A2 cows, Deshi cows. There's in North India, and they have probably no hormones given, no antibiotics, nothing. It's all coming in pure form. And yet he found that people who consumed this had diabetes, higher incidence of diabetes. And he said that even A2 cow milk was not required for our good health. And we must stop taking that food which is not in physiological alignment with us. We are not baby calf. The composition is also not like that. That is suitable for human consumption. We may not have also the lactase enzyme. So this is the answer. Plus probiotics or prebiotics that you can get from plant-based foods are actually far superior, easy to digest. You get them quite easily. Replacement of ghee would be coconut oil. We use it as and when necessary. But we hardly use any of these things which are more processed or something. We just try to keep more whole food plants based and very simple. So this is my take. You don't need them. Ayurveda says it so. The times are different. We need to change with the time and do an experiment on our own self. Maybe do a 30-day, 60-day experiment. Give up these things and see what happens to your health. I think that should be good enough. What do you say? Dr. Gauri, you want to take?
Right. I'm just adding to what you said. Whatever you said is absolutely true. When it comes to, if we are looking at curd as a probiotic only, we can even, we don't need a probiotic as such. What we are looking at is prebiotic. Fiber behaves like prebiotic. And when you eat whole plant-based foods which are rich in fiber, the bacteria in our gut breaks it down and creates whatever was necessary the probiotics would do from outside. So we don't really need a probiotic from outside. This prebiotic fiber will create all that what is necessary, and we don't have to worry about it. And coming to all the animal products or even the dairy products, today we know the animal agriculture is pathetic in every way, whether it is antibiotic addition or the hormonal addition or the protein itself. Today we know the animal protein is so harmful, which is inflammatory and increases the oxidative stress. It is, if you look at all animal products, there is nothing nutritionally speaking which can be helpful or health giving. It is all unhealthy. And last 20-30 years of research has proved beyond doubt that all animal products, including dairy products, are harmful for human health.
Okay, wonderful. And Dr. Saravanan?
Yeah, I have a few thoughts on this. I'm not an expert on Ayurveda, but whatever I have read and what I have learned from my experience, I would like to just share. So Ayurveda Ayurveda also considers food as medicine, and of course they have used ghee or curd as a vehicle to deliver certain medicines, to administer certain medicines. But now we are living in a modern age where we have to see whether these can be applicable in this modern lifestyle. So Ayurveda also speaks about Ritucharya and Dinacharya, which we need to follow every day and during the seasons. And people ask one or two questions, especially about the dairy products. We have to ask them whether they are following all the other wonderful wisdom Ayurveda has given us, like following seasonal foods, eating seasonal foods, and all the healthy lifestyle Ayurveda recommends. That's recommended in Dinacharya and Ritucharya. Are we all following all those things? Why we are just clinging to one or two things like ghee and curd? So that's one thing which I usually think about. And second thing is that though it might have been recommended, I'm not sure whether it is recommended for everyone, because an Ayurvedacharya would recommend the diet after studying the person's constitution, the Prakriti, and then they'll individualize the diet. On that basis, they may even want certain patients to avoid curd and ghee. So it's not a generalization, I assume. It's better to check with your Ayurvedic physician who has sound knowledge in plant-based nutrition. We have a doctor in our team, Dr. Vidya Chakravarti. I think she'll be there for another live session. Maybe we can put forward this question to her for more insights. So I've shared my insights on this. And as Dr. Rupa Shah and Dr. Gauri said, we don't need these dairy products to survive. And especially in this modern life, we can definitely apply a lot of wisdom from Ayurveda that still works in this modern lifestyle. But certain things we need to update and look into the scientific research as well, and then see whether it is applicable for this times. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just got a note from Dr. Pramod Tripathi that we will see whether he can join or not. I've sent him a note if he can. Otherwise, anyway, I will try and bring him to some other session. So now the next question over here is, please provide tips and implement for those who are new to plant-based diet. Actually, Dr. Gauri, you have an entire talk on this, right? Yes. Maybe you want to tell them what to do, take it forward.
Right. So to start with, I would say what body needs. Our body basically needs 7 nutrients. That is carbohydrate, then proteins, then fats, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and water. These are the only 7 the body needs. There is no 8th element or the nutrient which body needs. And how do I get all of these? First rule is simply go as close as possible to what plants have given, and you get all of them. Because in nature, what plant gives has all the 7. There can't be any plant product without one of them. The whole point is we remove one or more of them by refining, by processing, and that is where we get into trouble. If we can stick to everything which the way the plant has given us, and that will become whole plant-based diet. That's all, as simple as that. And you can watch for complete details on 22nd in the same Food Revolution Summit. And if you ask me, very simple things is whatever you're eating, your own ways of eating, your own patterns of eating, ensure your grain becomes whole grain. Say, for example, rice. It has to be unpolished rice. That's all. The problem is solved. And similarly, dals and grams. Ensure you have different varieties of dals and grams. When it comes to dal, unpolished with husk. And vegetables, variety of vegetables, lot of vegetables unpeeled, both raw and cooked. This is all you need to do. Make small changes. Don't have to change your recipes. You don't have to change your pattern of eating. Just ensure the ingredients become wholesome and you're into whole plant-based diets.
Wonderful, wonderful. Exactly. So I'll move on to the next one. Can type 1 diabetes be cured? Dr. Saravanan?
So type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune condition. If a plant-based diet can help with other autoimmune conditions, then definitely type 1 diabetic patients can also be benefited by following a plant-based diet. But here, the cure is a question mark again. So it depends upon various factors. There are cases I have seen who have achieved reversal, and there are people who have reduced their insulin doses and have attained a good state of health and prevented many complications. One thing I can say for sure from my own experience is that a plant-based diet can be very helpful in the management of type 1 diabetes. Reversals may be possible, but not with every case. This is what my experience is. I would like to hear from Dr. Rupa Shah and Dr. Gauri as well.
So I have a similar answer. The autoimmune disorders are very difficult to handle, but we can make them as much better as possible so that they are maintained on minimum insulin dosages, or they have a very good quality of life, or complications of diabetes are much lesser. So this is what at the moment we can say about type 1 diabetes, which is still something is better than nothing. This is, I would say. It's unfortunate type 1 diabetes is linked with the early consumption of cow milk in the first year of life itself. There are research data that shows the connection directly. So anyway, that's all that I want to add. Dr. Gauri, you want to add something?
Well, personally, I have not seen reversal in my patients. All I have seen is, as you both said, a drastic decrease in the amount of insulin necessary. The quality of life becomes so much better, and they can have a normal, wonderful life and no complications for a longer period of time, is what I have seen. But definitely, I've heard people, like just now I was listening to Dr. Pramod Tripathi. He was mentioning the reversals in type 1 also, and I have seen, I am associated with Ramakrishna Mission ashrams, and especially with Haridwar. There, one Dr. Swamiji who heads the Ramakrishna Mission Hospital, he works with type 1 diabetes children, specifically type 1 diabetes, and he has reported lot of reversals. So it is possible. Again, depends on how well we'll be able to do. We might have to go to, to a larger extent towards raw food eating, where the reversal can also happen.
Yeah, and we will wait till more data gets published, and then we can find out the exact system, how this happens. Perfect. Wonderful. The next one says, my mother has been whole food plant-based for 2 years now. Most of what we do is from reading books and watching videos of Dr. McDougall, Dr. Neil Barnard, and others. We need some hand holding and help in tweaking the diet from an Indian professional for preventing relapse of disease. Do you provide consultation? All the doctors who will be speaking here on this platform, they all are professionals. They, of course, all of them provide consultation, hand holding, uh, in a very systematic fashion. Some of them do in groups, some of them do on one-to-one basis. So basically keep listening to all the doctors, but they are all of Indian origin now, so that's the advantage over here. We know our culture, our cuisine, we know what food our tongue loves and what food our body doesn't like. We know all these things, so we will be able to. So for example, like my first and foremost question to any patient is to know their ethnic background and their habits, food habits. So if I have a North Indian, he would be, of course, dairy loving, paneer and lassi. And if I have someone from Kutch, Gujarat, would love also lassi or the curd quite a bit. You come to Maharashtra, there is tak. Come to Chennai, there is curd rice. To go to Bengal, then there is Rasagulla and all that. So I want to know what is the ethnic background, what do they eat in their households, where the mistakes are, and what are the processed foods. Or I even joke and say that not food, but what food like substances do you have in your refrigerator or in your cupboards that you call them as food. So yes, and then we help them out so that they don't feel very displaced from their regular lifestyle and their tongue, whatever they are used to. But we just change it to whole food plant based and make it very interesting. Now there are probably hundreds of recipes of Indian food converted into whole food plant based and available. Excellent. So yes, do contact us later, send us an email, or also so many doctors you will listen, whoever you feel attracted to, go ahead and contact them, search them on their website, find out, send them email, and they'll respond. Anything else to add, Dr. Sarvanan or Dr. Gauri? Yeah. Okay. So, could you please repeat what foods to include for dandruff plus extreme hair fall? Tried all natural ways too, if you can repeat. Whom Frisch is asking. She's already vegan and she's asking this question: can we add some more foods for dandruff and extreme hair fall? For dandruff and extreme hair fall, I usually inspire people to reduce the salt intake in their diet. That's the first one. I don't know about you, Dr. Gauri and Dr. Sarvanan. What do you advise?
I generally ask people to go more on the raw, like the fruits and the vegetables, so that they get all the micronutrients and the phytochemicals, which will naturally from inside. The body is capable and is absolutely intelligent to repair itself, cleanse itself, provided the environment. So all we need to do is make the right environment. So I generally take people on more of the raw so that it can heal itself.
Wonderful. Yeah, Dr. Saravanan, any particular advice for dandruff and extreme hair fall? I'm also interested in chlorine in water, and such chemicals also add up. Okay. Good evening. What is the effective treatment in naturopathy for urine retention?
Sorry, can you reread the question?
Yeah. Good evening. What is the effective treatment in naturopathy for urine retention?
Retention. I didn't get the question on.
Retention. So, like, there are patients who will not go and evacuate their own bladder for many hours, or sometimes they go on only there's a partial evacuation. So we call it as urine retention because some amount of urine gets retained each time. So they go one time, it's not empty, then they go again. They just I think it's something to do with the muscular power of the bladder and autonomous nervous system that is controlling the urinary reflex where the evacuation happens. So I would not discuss this only from naturopathy point of view as one thing. There is also a lot more lifestyle, mind and emotions. Are you taking any drugs, right? Often side effects of various medication also can add on. Drug interactions happen. So this is what I would say. But plant-based diet is always there to help, and we don't see individual symptoms. We would like to see the patient as a whole and figure out more things. Are they allergic to something? Is there any dental treatment going on? Is there any surgery that was done? All these things are also important. I would like to handle this separately, right? Because case, and we have to know the history in detail, then we can help the patient better.
And coming to Nature Cure, there are a lot of water therapies like the hip bath, and that will help a lot. And also when we do whole plant-based diet, the blood vessels open up and there is better blood supply to every part of the body, where the nervous system also starts working better. And also there is in yoga, we say something called yoga, Mula Bandha. Mula Bandha can be practiced through the day many times. All of this will definitely help.
Correct. How to reduce HbA1c without medication or insulin? But that's what exactly we do, right? Bring it below 6 for all our patients. That's our aim, and maintain it over there. It's through the whole food plant-based diet. There are several talks on diabetes. After this, Dr. Pawan Vadwan is going to speak. Dr. Soham Patel also is going to speak on this. You should be able to attend those. What do you want to say, Dr. Saravanan?
Yeah, I second the same thing. So just by following a healthy plant-based diet, a low-fat plant-based diet, it would be possible to bring down the HbA1c levels, and in fact, insulin need can be reduced if it is done properly. I hope the coming sessions will be more enlightening on this subject.
Correct. So now the next one is, please could you explain the difference between prebiotic and probiotic foods? I don't know much about it. So Dr. Saravanan, that's your subject. You will be able to tell very well.
Okay, so by probiotics, we mean the healthy bacteria, and prebiotics, we mean the media for the healthy bacteria to thrive. So there are different strains of healthy bacteria which colonize our gut. And this healthy bacterial flora can be affected because of unhealthy lifestyle, because of eating junk food and processed food, certain medications, consuming a lot of chemical loaded foods, even stress. So many things can affect the healthy bacterial flora in the gut. And gut health is very, very important for overall health and well-being. Nowadays, they are studying about psychobiotics, the link between the gut health, gut bacteria and our brain health. So every part of the body is connected to the gut, and it is very essential that we keep our gut in a healthy state. And for that, the healthy bacteria are very important. So for the healthy bacteria to live and thrive, we need the prebiotics, the media for this bacteria to thrive. And prebiotics are nothing but the fiber present in plant-based foods. The resistant starches, the fibers present in so many plant-based foods will work like a good place for the bacteria to thrive. So if you want to have good gut health, then just start eating unrefined whole plant foods, especially fruits and vegetables, greens, and even legumes, all of those, and some grains. They can all provide you with those healthy prebiotics. And as an additional source of probiotics, you can try all the non-dairy curds, the fermented foods, like lacto-fermented vegetables, and even fermented pickles, the healthy versions. We can try all of those to get different varieties of bacterial strains. So I hope I have answered this question. Thank you.
Yes, also, and there is a talk after this question answer session gets over on gut microbiome. That is Dr. Mahesh Shah from London. He is going to speak in great detail about it. So do attend that talk and you'll learn a lot more about it. Wonderful. Okay, so the next question is there more experience and case studies of raw plant-based food on disease reversal? So we refer to a website called as nutritionfacts.org, plantbaseddata.org, Dr. McDougall's site, China Study Book, Dr. Colin Campbell, and these are the main sources of our data. There's a lot of more than 1,000 research papers only on plant-based data.org. Dr. Tushar handles that one. I will have to look into the proper studies, but I have heard of loads of cases that have reversed on raw plant-based food, loads of them. I call them as detox diets. You do it for a few months till you have detoxed completely, reversed your disease, and then gradually come to a good balance where you want to have a balance of raw and cooked for your health. That's for maintenance. This is what I understand. There are people who are only into fruits or only into raw, but I believe in one thing, that you don't take one diet today or tomorrow or day after. You take it as your body needs. We are in a dynamic equilibrium with the whole universe. You don't have to be fixed on one concept or one diet. We will change. We'll change according to seasons. We change according to the needs. We change according to our prakriti. So if I've eaten lots of junk food outside, well, I don't eat much junk food as such, but outside food basically, although it is all plant based, then one day I want to just go on juice or fasting or just fruits, maybe 3 days. So like that, your body tells you what you want to do, when to eat. That's the beauty on plant based diet, that it changes your cravings. Yeah, there's going to be a talk by Dr. Rashmi Menon on food cravings. Somehow you never eat anything too much. Something tells you when to stop. It tells you, that's it, this is enough, you don't need it. It's more like intuitive eating. You never overstuff on whole food plant-based diet. Do you all agree with me, Dr. Sarvanan? We never overeat it. We don't eat for our tongue. Our tongue tells you that's enough. Even if something is great and interesting, something that you love a lot, somehow I don't find, once you are on a whole food plant-based diet, your taste buds are so readjusted, you don't eat or overeat or abuse your body. But still, like as I eat sometimes outside food, I want to change. So you listen and change accordingly every day. Just listen, change traditional, what our body is comfortable with, we know what we digest. We'll do it like that. But if let's see, next time more data will be available. So I believe in just not fixing on one diet, or one diet for all, or one style for all, or more raw for all, because I know some who are Vata constitution are not happy with raw diet. They have huge bloating, distension, can't digest. Some of them can actually fall ill. So let's hang on, wait, look at the individual constitution, start one step at a time and see whether you. So it's not about just a great diet or a great food or something. I always say, who is eating that food? Who is digesting that food? Who is assimilating all the nutrients from that food? And who is eliminating the toxins from that food? That person is very important. Otherwise, if your digestive system is not good, even if you eat best of the foods, what's the point? Sometimes I see people overdo of lots of flax seeds and lots of chia seeds and lots of something good, superfoods, and they end up taking far too much. So this is where fine tuning is required. This is the mistakes that are done. That's where, of course, we will help and we will find out what mistakes are you doing, because body does not lie. Want to add anything on this?
Well,
Raw foods
and when you say, I want to do raw, mind might not be able to listen to it. As you said, it is not something we are looking at doing for 2 days or 2 months or 2 years. We are looking at making positive changes both in living and eating for lifetime, because we want to be healthy for lifetime. So we cannot make impractical changes. But yes, there are certain people who are good at it, who want to do it, who feel good at it. So they can be fruitarians or they can go on raw. But generally, what I see or what I suggest and what I see with my people is, even if you eat a lot of raw, definitely at least one meal of cooked meal is absolutely essential to keep the mind calm. Otherwise, the cravings become so bad where you feel deprived, and after a week, you go back and start eating more than what you actually were eating wrong, and the whole purpose is lost. So it is very important to go very slow, very gradual, and as you rightly said, listen to the body. What I can do, probably somebody else cannot do. What that person cannot do, can do, I cannot do. So depending on what I can do or what that particular individual can do, we have to go slow and gradual. And of course, the goal is to eat healthy and stay healthy.
absolutely perfect. Also, like some foods are just for the mind, not only for the body. So once in a while, we have to eat little bit food for our mind so that it calms down. Perfect. Shall I go ahead with the next one? Okay.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you reverse vitiligo problem? Vitiligo is the pigmentation that is not there on the skin, like you get white patches. We call them as leukoderma. I haven't seen any case yet, because in my practice, not yet on a plant-based diet. But I've heard of somebody who's a vegan, and he was a vegan, but he wasn't eating all healthy stuff all the time. But he started doing it, and his skin became very beautiful, and all the white patches completely disappeared. But I haven't treated him. He did it on his own. Okay. What would be the best plant-based foods for the muscle gain? We don't eat food like this food is good for muscle gain, so I must have it. When you exercise, you feel hungry, and your body can digest something and will ask you or crave for something. Today I want to have coconut. Today I want to have potatoes. Today I want to have lots of rice and dal. And your body makes something out of it, whatever it needs. And then you can gain the muscles. So I don't kind of very much focus on the proteins or isolates, or I'm just very interested in the food itself, the whole foods. I will eat apple or I will eat rice, but I won't see it as a carbs or protein or something like that. I just have gone back to very simple food as food. And I like to just inspire people to keep eating food and see how you digest it. And don't go around with a chart of calories and how many kilocalories and what is the protein, and they are all written in very fine fonts that you can't even read half the time. For muscle gain, exercise is number one. More you exercise, your body will immediately ask you for more food of the right kind, simple, basic food. The people who come to work in the construction site, I love to see their food. They are very strong. They can lift up 60 kilo of a cement bag, and not one time. They just do it all the time. This is their work. But what do you eat? These poor can't have eggs, don't have money for dairy, don't eat meat. They just have lots of grains, dal, vegetables, little bit, and get just see sometimes roti and sabji, little bit of onion, green chili, and see how he makes it, how they are so strong. So I'm interested in knowing that this is not all those superfoods kind of thing. Pay attention, look around, study. There's no rocket science. Just go and see what they are eating.
Very well said, Dr. Rupasha. I think we are very, there is very much about this reductionist approach in nutrition. We need to look from a holistic perspective. We need a holistic approach. So nature has provided everything in the wholesome form. So if we take a food, it has a package of several nutrients, and it is not needed to, find out what is inside. As you rightly said, we have to follow our body's wisdom and then choose the type of foods. And it's not just by only eating protein we're going to gain muscle. It's also by eating the right type of calories which come from different foods. So the right balance of the macros and the micros are needed from a wholesome plant-based diet. When combined with exercise, then building muscles wouldn't be a big deal.
I just want to add something. I mean, just to give an example, if you bring a lorry load of bricks and put it somewhere, it doesn't get built into a wall or a building. It is for a mason to stand there and build the wall. Exactly similarly, if I eat tons of protein, it doesn't become into muscle. Actually, it is the exercise which builds that muscle. So good amount of holistic protein that is in the whole plant-based food is necessary, and specific exercise for the muscle wherever you want to build. That exercise is what builds the muscle.
Super. So now there are, we'll just take a couple of more questions and then we'll be winding up and getting ready for the next session, which will be in another 7 minutes time. Does a whole food plant-based diet improve eye vision? Eye vision too.
I just want to say this, take this.
Yes.
There was one lady who came to me for many other problems. The whole magic of this whole plant-based diet is you come for something and everything inside the body gets better. And she had a whole list of problems. If I have to say some 8-10 problems, the major problem was skin allergies, and she had heavy bleeding and weight loss. And I think she had a few more also. One fine day after 2-3 months, she calls me and says, Dr. Gauri, something is wrong with the diet. I am having issues with my eyesight, she says. Then I went on asking her, what did you do? What happened? We went back and forth 2-3 times. And then I told her a few things and she said, okay, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And in another couple of days, she calls me and she's screaming at the other end of the phone. I ask her, what's happening? She says, oh my God, I can't believe my eyesight has got better and I was still wearing my glasses. And that is why I couldn't see. But by mistake, I saw the screen of the TV without wearing my glasses. And I realized that my eyesight has got better and I don't need my glasses. And this is the beauty. When you eat right and live right, everything inside gets corrected. And of course, eyesight also.
Super. Can you provide the link for these resources? That is plantbaseddata.org, nutritionfact.com, I think, right? Or .org. Yeah. There will be a talk by Dr. Tushar also. You will be able to see Then China Study is the book. So we'll try and share it as and when possible. In future also, there are so many books now, so many nutritionists, so many wonderful events and courses happening all over the world. Can we reverse acne and acne scars by plant-based diet? Yes, pretty much, quite a bit. The scars become very light, and this quality of skin, which is breathing, which is radiant, it really looks nice. Yeah. So, any of you want to add about the skin scars, the quality of skin?
The coconut gratings, you just have to grind it with a little water, and when it becomes the pulp, you can apply it, or you can even apply vegetable chutney kind of a thing. You blend it and then apply vegetable packs. All of this will actually help bring it back to the normalcy. After you do the whole plant-based diet, eat right, live right, and then apply the packs. You apply the packs, it's not going to help much.
Correct, absolutely correct. Skin is the mirror of our own health, and only external applications may not work. You have to clean up from inside as well. True, true. Let's do the last one. Too much fiber leads to gas, bloating. Is it true? Too much fiber, there is soluble fiber, insoluble fiber. It depends on what is your capacity to digest and eliminate that fiber. Some people are vata constitution, and then their ability to digest the fiber is not there, so they can't take the load of fiber. But pitta can and kapha can also digest. But if you just do far too much, I'm not sure what will happen. It can cause gas and bloating, because see, ultimately we are feeding to the microbiome in the intestine. No, they are the one who are eating and doing a lot of big job for us. So what is the food that you're going to give it to them, and can they digest, can they process? If they can't, you will have bloating. Those kind of bacteria whose food is available will thrive, survive, and they will produce all those gases and give you an indication that this stuff is not suitable to you. What do you want to say?
One thing I can add is eat slowly and chew well is first thing. Second thing, increase fiber very slowly and gradually. Don't do drastic changes. And also, if you are having bloating and kind of gas and flatulence and all, it simply means that we have pathogens inside more than the beneficial bacteria. So it's very important to feed the fiber continuously, so that the beneficial bacteria get this fiber and they increase in large numbers and diversity. And when they take over, the pathogens come down, and naturally the bloating, gas, flatulence all comes down. But it takes a few weeks for that to happen. Till then, you have to be gradual, slow, and have patience.
Super. Okay, this is the time we have. Now we have to wind up. Any last thought or words, Dr. Saravanan?
Yeah, I would like to add something about the fiber. So if somebody experiences bloating after having fiber, then we just need to see that what combination of foods the person is having. Sometimes wrong combinations can create this kind of bloating. So that needs to be corrected. And as Dr. Gauri said, we need to be a little bit slower while introducing fiber, like from a meat-based diet when we are transitioning to a whole food plant-based diet. If we can slowly add the fiber, then the body will be able to manage that. And over a period of time, I think we'll be able to handle fiber very well. And eating as per hunger signals is another important thing which we need to do. There are many people who, out of interest, they start eating a lot of these foods, even without hunger, thinking that it's good for health. But it's very vital to see that whether we really have the hunger signals and all the digestive juices are secreted, so that, whatever food we eat, wholesome food we eat, which gets digested properly and assimilated into the system. So that's another point I would like to add. So thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. You are what you eat, and you are what you ate. All right. Thank you very much. Namaste, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 9:30. I am trying to get Dr. Pramod Tripathi tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.